Hey, what's going on, guys? Dopes10930 here, and I am taking a break from some homework right now to bring you guys this commentary. I'm going to record the gameplay for it later on, but I just decided that I needed an excuse to stop doing homework, and I was like, I'll be constructive and do a commentary since I'm in the mood right now. Basically, this commentary is going to be about a trip that I went on with my brother last Monday. I think I told you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know I update you guys a lot more often on there with like quick things that are happening in life versus YouTube, because that doesn't happen until I make a video. But yeah, I went to Colorado with my brother last Monday, and originally I wanted to vlog for you guys, which didn't end up happening. I ended up driving the whole time, and so I couldn't get too much footage until I got there. Then I got a little bit of videos and a couple photos, nothing crazy because we weren't there for very long. So I just decided to be cooler and easier to basically make a commentary for you guys where I just kind of explain what went down and the craziness of the trip. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So basically, I have been wanting to move to Colorado for quite a while. When I was with my ex-girlfriend back in high school, we had talked about Colorado, and I'd been saving up for a house, and then we split apart probably 3 years ago or so now, and that whole idea went right out the window. I didn't want to do it by myself. It was supposed to be like, the both of us, and so I kind of lost all interest in it. Well, as of recently, me and my brother have been talking and looking into moving out into an apartment, which I talked about not too long ago, actually. And we kind of decided we didn't want to move out in an apartment. We wanted to straight up buy a place, either a house or a condo. And we were looking locally at the prices and stuff like that, and they're just outrageous here in Southern California. So I don't know how the idea of Colorado randomly kind of popped up back into my head, but it did. And so me and my brother have kind of like, talked a little bit about it here and there over the past, I don't know, few weeks, month here maybe. And that Monday, so last Monday, no, I'm sorry, not last Monday like this week, but the Monday before. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But last Monday, we were out eating at Chili's, and it was literally 10 o'clock at night, or 10:30 at night, and we're sitting there, my brother, we've already eaten our food, I'm just sipping on a beer and talking to my brother, and, we're talking about life and stuff, and about, somehow we should go to Colorado got brought up out of nowhere. Me and my brother, we have weird conversations, and then I told him, I said, hey, why don't we go right now? Or maybe he said, I don't remember how it went down exactly, but I know we basically chuckled it off, and then it got serious, and we kind of stopped, we looked at each other, and realized that we were both down. So he called and got his shift covered the next day at work. I called, and the guy that was working the next day was able to do a double shift to take my shift. He said he was totally cool with it, so I was like, sweet. Drove home, got home at like 11:30, packed all of our stuff, told our parents. They freaked out. My dad was kind of calm about it. He knew that there was nothing he could do, and that he knows how I am and knows my brother. He knows that when we have our mind set on something, nothing can change our mind. My mom was definitely freaking out pretty hard and tried to convince us otherwise, but we packed our stuff and we left the house at about midnight. And so yeah, we went to the gas station, filled up our tank of gas, and we drove, or I drove, I'm sorry, I drove. We took my car and I drove from 12 o'clock at night, so midnight to 10, so 10 hours straight, which was all through the night when I should have been sleeping. But the drive was pretty crazy. So we went from Southern California up towards Vegas, and I've only been to Vegas once or twice, and I've never driven, so I didn't really know the way. My brother had looked it up on his GPS, and he said, hey, we're taking this like nature forest reserve, an hour detour because it's gonna save us an hour. So I thought, he's the map guy, I'm terrible with directions. That's fine, if you say so, I'm taking your word for it. So, everything's been smooth for the first 3 hours, and all of a sudden we pull off the road, the highway, to this, side road or whatever, and instantly it is foggy. And I don't mean foggy, guys, I mean one of the worst fogs I've ever driven in or seen in my life. I've got maybe a car length distance, maybe, if so lucky, and that's really it. And so I'm starting to drive down the road, and it says rough roads, and holy shit, could they have not been more right when they said rough roads. I mean, I'm talking, this road was just full of potholes. It was a really like just crappy, broken down road. It had a lot of like up and downs, and there was water randomly scattered throughout, so I hit a couple spots where we were like kind of semi-hydroplaning, but not really, but still really sketch. And that went on this scary, sketchy road for about an hour. But we got to a certain point after we'd been on it for like 30 minutes. I had to pull over to take a piss, so we pulled over, and I turned off the engine and all the lights and stuff on the car, and it was creepy because, again, we were out in the middle of nowhere in this like desert. You can't see anything. There's no lights. I mean, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. But I looked up into the sky, and it was the most crazy galaxy stars I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I tried taking a picture, no way in hell. Like, it didn't capture. It was amazing, guys. I mean, something out of a book or something out of a movie. It was insane. So my brother even told me that that was by far one of the coolest things we saw the whole trip. So that was really cool. We got back in the car, and then I kept freaking out, thinking I was going to get a flat or something bad was going to happen to my tire in my car because all these damn potholes, and I'm in a little Corolla. So it was a trip, but we made it off that road alive, and then we went on this other side road, which took us through a bunch of like sketchy little like sketchy areas where there was like rundown buildings and like a random like murderous looking church. It was just really interesting, and we finally made it to the main highway again, passed through Vegas, which was really sweet. Just to be back in humanity. I picked up like a quick burger and kept driving. I'd say at this point it was probably 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. So drove through Vegas, kept driving. We were headed next towards like the tip of Arizona. And at this point, again, my he's been kind of on and off sleeping the whole time. At this point, he's passed out sleeping, and it starts pouring down rain. And that's actually another reason why I wanted to drive more so than my brother. He hasn't been driving very long, and it's my new car, and a combination of his life and my car, I just don't want to risk it. So that's why I was like, it's kind of sketchy. He's never driven in these conditions so much, and we're in a foreign place, so I wanted to keep on going as long as I possibly could. But believe me, guys, I was freaking exhausted at this point. I was so tired. So yeah, but anyways, we passed through all of Nevada. We hit the tip of Arizona, and it's really awesome. We're going through this, like, it almost looks like the Grand Canyon. Like, I wasn't sure that it wasn't the Grand Canyon until afterwards I found out it was, you know, not that close to the other states. But it was awesome. I mean, I've never seen such high, massive, like, red mounds of rock everywhere. And we went through that valleyway, and we got into Utah shortly after that, and I drove through half of Utah, which was pretty cool, like kind of boring in all honesty, a lot of rocks and stuff. But yeah, I drove through half of Utah before pulling over because we were running out of gas in this like tiny hick town. I mean, this town was like really hick, the most hick town I've ever seen in my life. I want to say there was like a population of like 50 to 100 people, and so I woke my brother up finally. This is probably like 9 to 10 o'clock at this point, and we pull into the gas station, go inside, and everyone in there is just like your typical hick. I mean, the accent, like just like no teeth on the bottom, like kind of crazy looking. There's a bunch of deer heads and elk heads and stuff like that all over inside the gas station. And my brother kept asking me, he's like, "Oh, these are crazy, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, those are big, huh?" He's like, "Oh, but they're not real." And I told him, I said, "No, dude, those are real. There's no way in hell they'd have these massive heads of animals in here if they weren't real." And so we asked the guy at Subway, because there's a Subway in the gas station we got food at. We said, "Hey, you know, are these heads real?" And he said, "Yeah." But the way he said it, he was like, "Yeah, my mama's sister shot that one right there." And I'm just, in my head, I was just like, holy shit, that's your aunt, dude. Like, why are you saying? I don't know. I guess I'm not used to that kind of grammar. And so it was funny to me. Like, I looked at my brother, and I have no self-control at all. And he has little self-control. He actually has probably a little bit more than me, as shocking as that is, with him being 5 years younger than me. But we both kind of, like, held back from just busting up laughing. And, you know, I told him, I was like, "Oh yeah, we're on a road trip out here from from California." And I shouldn't have said that, because I can tell you this, that people in Utah at least do not like people from California. At least in this town, I would imagine that they just think that we're all a bunch of, like, you know, Hollywood, good for nothing, you know, prisses or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, me and my brother finally switched off. I said, "Thank God, dude, I need to get some sleep." When I actually had a really hard time sleeping. The first hour of him driving, I was just cracked out of my mind, because the only thing that I've been having the whole night really was, I picked up some double espresso shots of like Starbucks from the gas station. I had a couple Monsters. I mean, I was just like as close to tweaking as tweaking without actually tweaking. I said tweaking a lot. Anyways, so after about like an hour of him driving, I finally fall asleep, and I don't think I had been asleep for more than like 30 or 40 minutes when I wake up to my brother like shaking me, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude, what's up? He's like, hey, we're getting pulled over. And I was like, no, dude, are you serious? He said, yeah, man. And I said, what was going on? He said, it was like a 80, we've been, it was 80 miles per hour on the highway. All of a sudden, it was 60 out of nowhere for no damn reason, in the middle of, bumfuck nowhere. And, 2 highway patrol officers were just chilling right there. So I'm sitting there kind of freaking out a little bit, but not really. I'm too tired to freak out. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen, so there's not much that can be done. Cop rolls up the window and basically says, hey, can I get your information? What are you guys doing? Where are you guys coming from? Yada yada. So I told him, hey, we're going to Colorado. We're considering moving here. And he asked, okay, where are you guys headed to in Colorado? And I told him, I said, I have no idea. And he kind of paused for a second and said, you have no idea? I said, no, we're just headed to Colorado. We're going to figure out the rest when we get there. He's like, so you're telling me you're driving all the way from California to Colorado, not knowing what city you're going to, where you're staying at, nothing like that. And I said, I have no idea. He said, do you know anybody there? I said, I know absolutely nobody. I've never been to Colorado. And he was definitely kind of like really taken back by that. And then he looked at me with a serious face. Again, I'm sitting in the passenger seat. He looks me in the face and says with a serious face, are you smuggling drugs? And it kind of caught me off guard. I believe I chuckled a little bit about it, and he just questioned us a little bit more and basically took my information, my insurance, my brother's license, and all that good stuff, and went back to his car where I'm sure he ran my brother's, information and my plates and all that stuff. And he came back to the car maybe 5 or 10 minutes later and basically, quote unquote, said, as crazy as your story sounds, I actually believe you guys. And then he said, do you have any questions for me, like places to see? So he gave us some recommendations on where to go in Colorado and basically just told us to watch our speed. So that was cool. That was interesting. And so yeah, basically the rest of the drive was smooth. My brother drove from about 10 to I want to say 12, and then his contacts were bugging him, so I got like 30 minutes to an hour of sleep, and then I had to drive again, and I drove the rest of the way. We got into Colorado, and the place we stopped at was called No Name. It was like west of the Rockies. We didn't get to like Foresty towards Denver, which is where we're looking into moving, like Boulder, Colorado, or Fort Collins are the places we're looking at. So we're gonna go back in December for a week. But anyways, yeah, we get to Colorado, and we get to this little like truck stop, basically passenger stop at 2 in the afternoon. I mean, God damn it, 4 in the afternoon, and we're in this stop, and basically I get out. I'm like, oh, it's covered. I mean, it's snowy. It's probably like 40 degrees at the time. It's windy. It's cold. So I get out. I take some photos. My brother's not even like out of the car. He's in the car talking to his girlfriend. So I go up to him like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And I go inside the car, and instantly just hits me. I'm like, oh man, I feel like crap. Like my anxiety was getting really bad. The lack of sleep was just getting to me. I was restless. I don't know. I felt crazy. And I told my brother, dude, we need to sleep. And again, I didn't say this, but the whole time prior to that, I had thought we were getting a hotel. That's what my brother had told me. We were going to split a hotel. When we finally get to Colorado, he's like, ain't nobody got money for that. So he said, we're just going to sleep in the car. Well, we put down the back seats of my Corolla, and our heads were both in the trunk. He had this super thick, like, it's a Mexican blanket. I don't know what it's called, but it's just a really thick Mexican blanket that his chick got him. And so we had our pillows, and we were just, like, bundled up in the trunk, like, laying there. And we passed out. We passed out hard. We passed out at, like, 4:30, and we woke up at 9, laid in the trunk, and just freezing our asses off. It was... it was cold. We're just like in the trunk kind of giggling, and he was I think at 9 o'clock he wasn't awake, so I fell back asleep. Then I woke up at 11, and I texted my dad because he was like checking in, make sure we were still alive. And then my brother like started giggling, and I was like, dude, what's up, you're awake? He's like, hell yeah, I can't sleep anymore. So we're kind of in my car. It's freezing. I mean, I think it was like 20 something maybe in the car, and the heater had been off, so the car was freezing. We were in the trunk with just one blanket, so I mean, we were freezing our asses off. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, dude, I'm starving. We haven't eaten since like 2 or 3. So I go to, there's a vending machine in this truck stop. I just buy a bunch of like random crap, like cookies and Cheez-Its, and like load up on a bunch of junk food. So we're sitting there, we turn the engine on, we start eating crap food, and I kind of asked him, I said, hey dude, what do you want to do? It's 11 o'clock at night now, so everyone's just going to sleep, and we're pumped up. We don't know where the hell we are. We don't know what we're doing. And so he was like, let's see if there's any place open. So we drive down the road a bit and we find a Walmart, and Walmart was like the only place in this town open. So it was a huge Walmart, like a massive super Walmart. So me and my brother walk around Walmart for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, just walking the aisles, looking at all the guns and stuff, because my brother's like pretty big on guns, and check out the video game stuff, whatever. And then we get bored, so I was like, shit dude, let's figure out something else to do. So we drive around a little bit more. We end up chilling at a Starbucks, and we just use their Wi-Fi there. We're basically sitting outside using the Wi-Fi, and my brother, I kind of said, hey dude, what do you want to do? I was down to call for a second day because I really wanted to go out and see Colorado a little bit more, and he told me, he's like, no dude, I really need the money, so I think we should just go back. So we were in Colorado for like that 30-minute window that we took some pictures of the truck stop place. We slept in Colorado, we walked around Walmart in Colorado, and then we chilled at a Starbucks in Colorado, and then we bounced. So I'm driving down the highway. I've been driving for like an hour, hour and a half. My brother just had fallen asleep, and basically, I woke up my brother about an hour into driving home and just told him, hey dude, we're getting pulled over. And he said, you know, seriously dude? I was like, yeah man, we're getting pulled over. So I pulled over, and the cop came up to the window, and I rolled down the window. I thought, shit, maybe I'd been speeding. I was so tired and just loony at this point. And the officer said, no, you haven't done anything wrong. You're not speeding. So I said, okay, then what's the deal? And he said, this is a 2-lane highway. The left lane strictly for passing. Which later I basically found out was bullshit. They just needed an excuse to pull me over. So the cop questions me a little bit, you know, about what's going on. We're headed back, you know, this and that. And the cop says, here, I'm gonna give you a warning ticket, or not, like, you know, just a warning note. And so I get out of the car, or no, I don't get out of the car. He comes up to me and says, hey Daniel, can I talk to you for a minute? So I get out of the car. At this point, they have a second officer, which goes up to the passenger window and basically starts questioning my brother. And the cop asks me a few things. He's really nice to me. You know, I signed the warning, and then I start walking back to my car when he says, hey, you know, you don't have to say yes to this, but would you mind if I searched your vehicle? And you know I could say no to this. You know, that I don't want you to search my vehicle, but the cop had been really cool to me. I knew I had nothing to hide. I didn't want him to get a warrant and like kind of rip my car apart because there was crap everywhere. So I said, you know what, officer, if that's what you want to do, then, you know, that's fine, go for it. So I'm standing out there freezing my ass off, and I ended up hopping in the back of the cop cruiser with my brother because it's just so cold outside. I mean, it was freezing. But the cop that had been questioning my brother was kind of a dick in a way. I don't know if I want to use the word dick, but like he for sure thought we were smuggling drugs. My brother had that big Mexican blanket kind of around him and on the floor and stuff, and I think it looked like we were trying to conceal something. And as we were sitting in the back of the cruiser, he was standing by the door, like I think waiting for the guy to find something so he could basically arrest us. But you know, he asked us if we had any large sums of money, if we were smuggling drugs, and I told him nope. I said I wish I had large sums of money, but I'm broke. And he's like, anything strange in the car? And I had to, you know, in my head I was thinking, the only thing strange in this car is like half a gallon of piss from the drive. But you know, aside from that, so once they searched the car, it came up clear, you know, obviously we didn't have any drugs or anything like that. The officers realized that we were just a couple of crazy white dudes, and you know, asked us if we had any questions or needed help with anything at all, you know, and that was it. And they sent us on our way. And you know, we drove back basically. We got back in town, I want to say at like 3:30 or 4. So I had the whole night here. I played a little bit of Dying Light, which I picked up in Utah. I was really excited to get that. And yeah, I mean, essentially that was the whole trip. It was by far the most crazy, random, spontaneous thing I've done in a long time. Yes, we didn't get to see a lot of Colorado this trip, but I don't regret it at all. It was such a fun time. Me and my brother, you know, we don't really do anything crazy like that, and there were so many laughs and just like cool things to see, and you know, it was really rad. So I'm looking forward to this summer. Again, we're gonna narrow it down to like 3 different towns or cities, and we're gonna go out there and spend a week and kind of check them out. And then once we get back from that, hopefully look into real estate and cost and, you know, all of those details and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I'll end it on that note. This was really a long commentary, but it was just kind of a long story, and I wanted to be pretty detailed, so I didn't want to cram it into anything too short. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, it wasn't what I originally planned. I wanted to do a vlog style thing, but that just didn't work out, so I thought, heck, this was the best I could do. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of this crazy trip venture, and also if you guys have any kind of like crazy random trips that you've gone on, either road trips or just, you can even be local stuff, you know, that you've done, like just spontaneous things. Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. DopeSlotter930, and I am out. Peace, guys. Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like button on the bottom of this video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe for new great videos every single week, including monthly giveaways. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys next time.